Hey there, today is Thursday, May 18th, 2023, and today was an exciting day at Flamingo Pool and Gardens. The Central Texas Gardener, PBS, out of Austin, was here in town to film the gardens and to interview me about how they originated and how they were planned and designed over the time. It was really exciting for me. It was a pleasure and an honor to have them here. The whole team was really great. So big shout out to Linda and the whole CTG team out of Austin. And she'll let me know when the video will be available to be broadcast, and it'll probably be on YouTube and all that. So I'll keep you guys updated. But for now, I thought since the garden looks really nice, it's about as good as it's going to get, is we'll go ahead and give a little tour ourselves here. So let's get started. So we start off with the little seating area that we've created in the grassy area. I know I said I would never use grass, but hey, I think it looks really nice. It's a nice soft place to rest your feet after getting out of the pool. And a lot of you gave your opinion on which of the Chase lounge covers looked the best, and majority of you guys said the blue ones. So, but there really was no right or wrong answer. I think they all look good, but I went ahead and went with the blue ones today. I do like how they match the pots, but again, like I said, all of them look really great and can be used at different times through the year. So anyways, this is the seating area, and then we'll move on to the start of the walkway. As I was telling Linda with Central Texas Gardener, I designed this garden many years ago, and I kind of made little separate rooms. That was some of the things that I had read, because I really knew very little about gardening when I first started, like 14 years ago. But I read it was real important to create rooms in your garden, and also to have a pathway that leads somewhere, which this one does. It's kind of a nice circular pathway, and you don't get trapped. I made a big mistake of closing off the pathway one year, and I quickly undid that. So let's get started. As we go over here, we have some nice collections of spiky type plants. The agave right here, the sago palm, the yucca, and of course the metal agave. So as we're here on the back porch, hello, welcome friends, welcome to the garden where it is trial and error, and that is for sure, and there's been lots of error. But live and learn. So here we begin into the what I call the semi-tropical garden, where we have plants such as the lantanas, purple heart, even the agaves give a little bit of a tropical look. Definitely the bougainvillea back there. We come over here to the Japanese Aurelia plant, very tropical looking. The gold dust akuba plant way back there, it's quite small right now, but once it gets big it looks pretty tropical. Another sago palm, and then over here in this large tub, which I told myself I would not plant plants in again after Snowmageddon, I went ahead and did that. So I bought an Ecuador pink trumpet flower. It hangs upside down. They're in the Datura family, and they smell really good at night. And then this is a new Mahonia. It's called Marvel. Has some really nice structure, and so hopefully this little area will fill in pretty good as the time goes by. Keeping everything watered is going to be the challenge. And then we have some nice little little pottery. This is some that Talavera type pottery, I believe. I like the colors. And then as we leave the tropical garden, we move into more of a Mediterranean feel. Again, lots of spiky little plants, including some metal artwork, which is what I went with after Snowmageddon. But I've actually intermingled those with real living plants, and I think they mix quite well. So I hope you guys do too. And then here's Saint Fiacre. He's the true patron saint of the garden. As you can see, his shovel. Most people think it's St. Francis, but St. Francis is the patron saint of animals, which is certainly appropriate in a garden, but just a little bit of tidbit there. Now this area here is called the Tranquility Garden, or the garden, contemplative garden, and it just has some nice little sayings. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Prayer, the contemplative prayer, and it's just a nice place to sit, with maybe two people together, just to have a little nice conversation. Bought this nice little metal piece with trees at home. Thought it was really cool, so put that there. And then of course we have a little bit of whimsy. We've got our gnomes riding the seesaw. And then the little guy from the arts. And we've got some kids down here, right? Poor little girl, she's about to lose her head. This is a Clethra pringlei. It is from the cloud forests of Mexico. It had a beautiful structure, a large trunk that you can see that I've cut because I thought it had died during Snowmageddon. One thing to learn is to be patient. Be patient, because it has come back, as you can see, but now it is going to always have a form of a bush, which I'm okay with, so I'm just glad that it survived. And then we exit this garden and move back into the Mediterranean garden just a little bit, where we have some nice things to look at and admire. Lots of different things to capture one's interest. We've got a nice tangerine beauty crossvine here growing on the trellis. And that thing that you see right there is a red yucca. It's not a true yucca, it's a hesperlow, but it sends up these red spikes of flowers, and it's quite attractive. And then here's one of my agaves that actually survived Snowmageddon, so it survived 4 nights of 9 degrees. We've got some purple fountain grass, another agave that survived. It's called squid agave. As you can see, kind of like it makes its shape is kind of squid-like, so that's where it gets its name. This is the morning glory vine. Most of the flowers are curled up and falling off by now, but in the morning the flowers start off a really brilliant blue, and then they slowly fade to a purple by evening time and then drop off. So this is my pineapple guava. Ooh, it's looking just a little droopy even after all these rains, but these are because these are all fairly new, newly planted plants. So I guess I'll be doing some watering this weekend. This is an Arroyo Sweetwood. It's another tree from Mexico. I love how it's the lacy look on it. It actually has white blooms, which smell a little bit like cinnamon. So it's kind of a cool tree. And so this iron gazebo, I was talking to Linda about. She asked, where did you get this thing? And I said, well, a local nursery called Rainbow Gardens on Bandera Road here in San Antonio had one of these, and I just fell in love with it. And I asked the owner, I said, where did you get this thing, or would you be willing to sell me yours? And he said, no, it's not for sale, but I can give you the guy's name who we bought it from. And I called this guy maybe it's been over 12 years now ago, and he had one left, and he was just wanting to get rid of it, so he sold it to us at a bargain price. That was unbelievable. We did have to assemble it and put it together, and several friends helped us lift it up into the air, and this sucker is so heavy, believe me, it's not going anywhere. But it is a nice focal point for the garden. There's the beautiful vitex that's in bloom. Excuse me, with the purple spikes of flowers. It's really one of my favorite trees, ornamental trees. I've planted several new crepe myrtles. This is a Yucca rostrata right here. It's one of the really probably the prettiest yucca there is, I think, in my opinion. But this is one of the newer purple leafed crepe myrtles. There's that one, there's this one, and then there's that one down there. So, and they're all 3 different colors. This one is going to be red, this one's going to be coral, and this one is going to be white. So we'll see how those turn out. And then we move into, obviously, what I call moving towards the seating area, or the red seat garden, the red chairs, so to speak. We got hanging flowering baskets of purslane. They're really pretty. They kind of close up at night and then reopen in the morning. This is another lovely vitex from a friend of mine, Albert Del Rio. It's called a cut leaf vitex. As you can see, the leaves are very finely cut. Look a little bit like a Japanese maple. And the bees have just loved this thing. They are all over it. So there goes one now. And then this is a red buckeye, scarlet buckeye, beautiful in the springtime. It tends to defoliate in late summer, but that's okay. It always comes back nice and strong in the springtime. So this is the red seating area, red chairs, where, you know, we can get together with friends and just sit back, drink a beer, have a margarita, talk. And then I think I've mentioned before, our fig tree was really giant here and provided this area was total shade, but it got severely damaged in the freeze from a couple of years ago, so we had to cut it way back. And as you can see, it's like going gangbusters as far as like bloom, you know, with all the leaves out down at the bottom. So I might have to actually trim it back a little bit because it's kind of hiding statues and other plants. But hey, at least we'll get figs this year instead of the birds getting all the figs. This is an elderberry. It's quite, can be a little bit invasive, but the little flowers there are very important for the pollinators. So I went ahead and left it. We got some Turk's cap over here. It's called Pink's. Pamela's Pink Purveyor Turk's cap, and I can't get that focused. Sorry guys. Complete amateur here. This is one of my favorite trees, the Mexican olive. It does give off olives, well, olive-like fruits, but technically they're edible, but they're not very palatable. So pretty little yellow white flowers with little yellow throats, and the more sun this gets, the better. So again, like I said, this whole area has opened up, and so it's getting a lot of sun. So some things actually like the sun. I know, I hate to say it. I'm not one of them, but anyways, our loquat came back nice and strong. Kevin helped me cut off the top because it was pretty much dead, but it was supporting the climbing Cecilbrunner rose. So that was quite a chore, cutting that down and fighting with the thorny rose. But I think it's gonna be fine. It's gonna come back nice and strong, and I just love the tropical look of the leaves. Over here we have some Texas mountain laurels, and I know probably some of you are saying like, gosh, you planted those really close. Well, yes, I'm going to actually try to create a hedge out of these, because these were one of the plants that were like bulletproof during the freeze. They just were totally unaffected, and so probably a lot of people in town, I think, are planting mountain laurels. They're a beautiful tree. This is a semi-large one here. It's kind of growing awkwardly because, again, the fig tree was so large that it was the mountain laurel was kind of leaning this way because of the fig was in the way. So now I'm trying to train it to come back with the tie straps. So all right, so then we're leading up into the pool area, and of course we have the pavilion, which I've always loved. We bought a new rug, and you can just kind of come up here and sit. It's kind of nice. Kind of a nice view, you know, of the pool and the garden over here. So then we'll leave this area. So as you can tell, we're going from kind of room to room, and you never have to like really turn around, except for the room we're coming to next, which is the lower courtyard. And this was interesting, building this. I kind of wanted to create a New Orleans style courtyard because I love the courtyards of New Orleans. They're just beautiful. But a lot of the plants that they grow in New Orleans just won't do well here. So, and with what we had, it just ours kind of took on a little bit more of a Mediterranean flair. But, you know, I think it turned out nice. I was able to create an English garden vignette with the help of this this scene that we bought at Lowe's many years ago. It's faded a little bit, but it is attached to these metal bifold doors that I actually took from my townhouse when I sold it. The buyer said that they didn't want them, and so I said, heck, I'll take them. And I put them all along here, and it really creates a lot of privacy. So they're about like, I guess about 9 feet tall. So really provides a lot of privacy from the neighbors and just makes the room feel a little more intimate. This little fisherman boy statue my mother bought me, and she has the very same one in her garden. So shout out to you, Mom. Thank you. And that's, gosh, that was been like 15, maybe 20 years ago, long time. And then the little rose bench Kevin bought for me for one of our anniversaries. The little cherubs, I don't really remember where I got those, but I think they're cute. And then over here is St. Francis, the patron saint of animals. He used to be a part of a fountain, but I tell you what, I gave up on fountains years ago because they're just so much work here in South Texas. You have to constantly keep them filled with water, or if you don't, the motors burn out, and then they're mosquito magnets. As you can see, it's full of water from all the rains we've had, but I put mosquito dunks in there, so it pretty much killed all the larvae, thank goodness. And we also sprayed for mosquitoes yesterday, and it really worked. They're not totally gone, but they're quite a bit less than they were. So here's our trusty kitty cat, George. Hey, Georgie. Hey, buddy. Say hi. Say hi to everybody. You're such a good boy. Yes, you are. Such a good boy. Oh, my goodness. Okay, we got to go on a tour here. You guard the garden. Bought my first hanging fern. We'll see how that goes. And then of course the wind chimes are always nice when the wind blows, or you do it manually like that. Again, some more of the metal artwork. Excuse me, the allergies are really bad. So this is the one room that you kind of go into. It's kind of intimate, you know, that you can go into with a friend or a couple of friends and just sit down and have some nice conversations. And it has a strong sense of enclosure, privacy, which is really nice. But then of course you have to turn around and come back out of this one, so it's not part of the circular design that I made. But heck, you know, that's how courtyards are, right? And then we've got some nice cannas here. Those are beautiful when they're in bloom. And they look nice next to the pool and the hot tub. This was a really cool gift from a friend of ours who moved to Wisconsin. But I think he's back in town now, so I hope he doesn't want it back. Got some beautiful hibiscus here. They're kind of closing up already at night. And you go up the steps here. One of the things that Linda with Central Texas Gardener commented on was she liked all the different levels of the garden, even though they weren't like really, you know, strong levels, but at least even a couple of steps helps create some, what's the word I'm looking for? Some interest. And there's another Vitex. This one's obviously smaller, but it'll grow. I thought this is a mule palm. It's a cross between a Pindo palm and a queen palm, and I thought it had died, but guess what? It's coming back. Yay! So sometimes you just got to give things a chance. Good old lantana, artemisia, portulaca, and of course my prized Mexican sycamore that I had been looking for forever. This is actually a specific type of Mexican sycamore. It's called the Trinity, and it was taken from a cutting from the mother tree on the campus of Trinity University here in San Antonio. So it's quite disease resistant, has these big, beautiful, deep green leaves with the white undersides, and it's one of the fastest growing long-lived trees for our area. Can grow up to 5 feet a year. So, and this is the west side of the house, so we really need some shade because it is hot as heck during the summer here. Can't even stay. The umbrellas help too. But it'll be nice to have some shade from that. And then we have our trumpet vine over there that's just going gangbusters. I was very happy there. I like the color combination of the orange and the purple. And then we're back up here onto the pool deck. And of course the back patio. We just recently purchased these new rugs for the back, and it's really nice, really a fun fun pattern and nice colors that match everything. Say hi, Kevin. And we're almost done, I promise, if I haven't lost you guys already. This is that new pathway that Kevin, myself, and my son Riley put in. It only took us 3 hours. It was really nice, but it really helps create a nice little pathway to here. And then this goes to the back gate, and this direction goes to the shed. So I think that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the tour, and again, I will keep you updated on when the film is going to come out, be released by Central Texas Gardener on PBS. Hope everyone has a great day and a great weekend. Take care. Bye.